Okay, so if we look at the setup, before you had almost a straight line from your shoulders through your hands there, okay? What I'm going to try to do, get an angle down there. Now, I would say that could still go a little bit nearer your legs slightly, but I think if you go too much too soon, you'll just feel like you're so close, you'll be like, oh, it doesn't feel comfortable at all, and then you go back to being uncomfortable there, okay? But in terms of the setup, that's a much better setup on the left-hand side. Now, as the club goes back, okay, you just sort of sink to, there we go. So as you're going back here now, top of the backswing, you can see on here now how the club's kind of like, the elbow's very much down, there's not much movement there, the club's sort of sticking way out there, the hands are quite low, not much space there. With this one, the hands are getting a little bit higher, a little bit more above your shoulders, okay? Taking that golf club away, you can see on that one how you've collapsed that golf club. The club now sort of falling out your hands sort of not really controlling that club because the way your left hand grip is on there, you're trying to hold the golf club now with your hand on top. Well, your fingers aren't going to be strong enough underneath that. If we can get that club with that left wrist a bit more in that position, you can see now you've supported that club a lot more. So the club at this point now is above your head, whereas this one is sort of down underneath your shoulders there, okay? So it's kind of collapsed a little bit. You've lost that control there. So bringing that golf club now back into impact, it's going to be tough. Also, you've stood up on the right-hand one a little bit more, which now then breeds you think, okay, I need to now start dipping. And if you watch the difference in the head movement here now, you can see on the right-hand one really sort of lunging forward for that golf ball. Club at this point, you can see if I go back one more frame there. Next one, come in. Ooh, too far. Up to that one there. See how the golf club now, if I put this sort of line here on the shaft there, that club's way outside the golf ball, whereas this one now is swinging towards the golf ball, yeah? So everything now is swinging back to kind of where it started. The arms are in a better position there. The arms on this are sort of sticking out. They've bent a lot more on the right-hand one. So you started with a stretched out position on the right, okay? Moved away from the ball, and then that lunge to the golf ball throws the club outside. As you can see, we just missed the golf ball. There's no sort of ability to reach the ground because you've started off too far this way, then you've moved away from it, now you've done this. Well, yes, you've dipped into the golf ball, but just nowhere near enough. And this is where the 1 in 5, every now and then, just because you're sporting ability, you'll hit a good shot. You'll get 3 or 4 wrongs to make a run, boom, the ball goes 100 yards. But the 4 out of 5 are a bit like, well, missed or topped or off to the side. So it's not as consistent the moves you want to try and make, okay? So follow through wise, you can see as well, the lack of control with the arms there. They're just sort of flailing around the side of your body. Whereas this one here, the club's gone over your left shoulder nicely. Just in general, in terms of the balance in those 2 shots, you can see the club now over here somewhere. It's just out of control, yeah? You haven't, and a lot of that stemmed from, as we said, right the way back to setup, sorry, where you had the grip in the wrong position, you weren't able to control the club, you lose control at the top, so you've lost the control of the golf club, and once that club's lost control, from the top of the backswing up here, you've got about half a second or a third of a second to try and gain control. Good luck with that. You'll be good every now and then, but from a consistency standpoint, it's never going to be very, very good for you. So slightly more arms hanging down. I think long term we will get it a little bit closer, but for today I think if we go too far too quickly, you'll feel like your hands sort of tucked in somewhere. You just feel awkward, you just won't feel comfortable. So the arms hanging down takes the tension out, and that left hand grip, so I'd practice as much as you can holding that golf club in just your left hand so it sits across the joint of your fingers and under this sort of bottom pad of the hand, not the lifeline. Okay, if it sits in the lifeline here now, you haven't got a bit of pressure. When you get to here now, then it's when it collapses. Grip it in the fingers there. Sort of take the back 3 fingers off, put the thumb and forefinger trigger together, and now you can kind of support the golf club, yeah? Obviously the fingers just come on normally, okay? And the right hand now is going to sit as it would do anyway. Your right hand grip's pretty good, but your left hand was twisted too far under, so your palm was facing up, and you're just stretching out. So those 2 things kind of hand in hand made it so that you couldn't really rotate. You lost control of that golf club here now, and then because you got further from the golf ball, you had to kind of dip your body, kind of lunging forward to that golf ball now. Did it too much, lean forward, arms bent in, missed the golf ball. When it's good, it's brilliant. When it's bad though, from your point of view, it's nowhere near what you want it to be, is it? So that kind of makes sense, I guess. So you see now where that inconsistency is coming from. I think it's the setup where the problems are rising, okay? And that's generally, like I said to you, most people when they play golf, they just stand to the golf in an unorthodox manner. They're just reaching out for the golf ball. As I said, in an ideal world, you want about a hand's width from there to there. Okay? You're probably about a hand and a half, maybe 2 hands there. I mean, there you've got like 3 or 4 hands out there. You're still really stretching out there. Okay?
Okay.
Excellent. Good stuff, right?